Hello everyone, this is KTH77, you can call me Keith. How's it going everyone? Doing another one of these. Seemed to work decently well last time. I don't want to get in the habit of always... I really hope I didn't mess up the recording by doing that. Anyways, don't want to really get into the habit of doing it, but I need to stop procrastinating in order to do that. So yeah. So this... Don't go... Oh, whatever. So, today I would like to... If I could stop failing to grab this hex code. Today I would like to talk about... Today is a very special... Well, it's not very special. It's just how not to make a podcast. I'm already failing to do this with my stuttering, stumbling, and stuff. But it's not the failure that I... thinking of that I experienced. So now I'm not going to name the podcast that I'm using as an example, because I like to follow the rules of not stepping on anyone's toes, not talking crap on other people. Just because the internet's a small place and I don't want to make enemies. And I just want to be a more positive person anyways. So, but it was a podcast where the people were talking about media they enjoy. Well, specifically a show. They were talking about a show, they were reviewing the show, not going to mention what the show is. And it was alright going in, but then by a certain episode, I just couldn't watch anymore because it was really bad. So basically... It was the first episode they really weren't really fans of. And, I'll admit I'm a little bit sensitive to negativity. I'm like, oh man, they're just complaining, and I don't like that. But I'm hoping that like my justifications for not liking it, justify me. Yeah, I hope my justifications justify me. But I mean, it started off like not super amazing. Because, like, one of the people who was talking was just, like, saying immediately they didn't like the episode because they didn't feel it was funny enough. Like, they didn't mention anything else about the episode. Like, they mentioned a little bit later that they didn't understand it. But they're just, like, harping on the fact that they didn't think it was a funny episode. A little bit frustrating. Because it's like... This isn't a show that is only a comedy show. Maybe some people would disagree with me and say, no, comedy's super important. Like, it does have good comedy in it, but it's also a show that has just good writing and characters and stories and stuff. Oh, whatever. But the way he described it too was like, man, there wasn't any lulls. I wasn't lulling. It's just, I think the bigger problem was he was talking about it in the dumbest way possible. Like, he's just the way he's like saying that there wasn't enough comedy, and the way he's like, oh, there wasn't the lulls. It didn't bring the lulls. It's like, you sound like such an idiot. And, that's like mean of me. It's like, oh man, you're such an elitist jerk. You're like, oh man. But just, if you're not going to make a podcast... and like it's edited and has like music on it and junk, it should be, unless it's like a purely comedy thing, it should be somewhat intelligent. And it's like, I think it's supposed to be somewhat intelligent, it just wasn't. But that's not the worst thing. That wouldn't be the worst thing. That would be this one guy is an annoying git, whatever, moving on. But then the real transgression happened that was really just frustrating and pushed me over the edge on this being like, oh, this is just a garbage podcast. And I need to learn from this garbage podcast so I could be better, so I could learn not to make their mistakes. But so it's like, they were disappointed because the episode didn't, it not even like explore a philosophical concept, but it didn't make a particular like socio-political statement. And not only is that dumb, it's like, wow, so you're mad that the person who made this didn't like make the same message that you wanted them to make. That's just silly on its own. But then, like, after they're like, no, they didn't make this statement, they just kept talking about it on and on and on and on. And it's like, good Lord, why is this podcast labeled as you talking about this show, this media, this franchise, when all you do is talk about your, like, socio-political freaking ideas and ideals in it? It's like, okay, we've established that this episode didn't tackle that idea, that didn't tackle that event. Clearly, it wanted to tackle its own thing. It had its own thing to go into and deal with. You just kept talking about your stupid thing. It's like, what? Why didn't you? This isn't your opinion. I mean, it's your opinions on the show, but you're not talking about the show anymore. You're just talking about your own stupid, like, ideologies and beliefs. And, you know, I'm apologizing. I don't want to dump on people's ideologies and beliefs, but I do if they're shoving it in my face in a thing that really shouldn't be them shoving that kind of thing in my face. You should be shoving your opinions of that show into my face and your analysis of the show into my face. And you're clearly said they didn't explore this in the show, so why are you continuing to shove it in my face? You just go on and on about it. It's infuriating. It's frustrating. It's like, it's their show, and they wanted to use this idea to explore their characters, not your commentary on America's, like, situations. And I'm not saying that as, like, don't talk about America. Like, they weren't foreigners and they were talking about America, and I'm saying stop. It's just, make your own socio-political blog to talk about that nonsense. Don't bog down this show with it. And yeah, I stopped right then and there because it was really frustrating how they were just going on and on. I want to see if I sort of maintain a little bit of that smeariness because it kind of looks neat. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry, I probably made you a little bit nauseous by doing that. That was obnoxious of me. So I learned an important lesson is you want to try to stay on track. And if you do get off track, try to make it tangentially related. Don't, like, there is just sort of a frustration factor of their continuously complaining that the episode was not good by definition of it didn't include the things you wanted them to include. So try not, but just in general, try not to go too off topic. I know I'm a bit of a rambler. I tend to fly off topic from time to time. Like that when I was talking about, well, I was talking about properties that don't involve robots, but then I did talk about Putt Putt. That kind of has a robot in it. I'm not sure how good that was. I did go off topic, and I'm not sure how far off topic I should be able to go before I need to reel myself in and go back to the previous topic. Then again, there's also simply the idea of you've come to completion with an idea and then you move on to a new idea. And I believe last time when I did go off talking about Putt Putt, I was sort of hitting a dead end talking about the previous topic. I don't know. I have a lot to learn. I'm not sure if that was the right call to make or the wrong call to make. And here I'm talking about the yesterday's performance. Well, the topic at hand is this very obnoxious podcast I was listening to, but in this case I'm applying what I learned from the mistakes of that other podcast to my video to hopefully improve. So I'm retrospecting on what I did, and I'm saying what I did there could be considered good or bad. I'm not sure if it was too far off topic or if it was okay for me to have completed that topic and moved on to a new topic. It's really... That's one of the things, is like there is no right or wrong answers. I would say it's playing by ear and see how people react, but like I don't get any reactions out of people. I don't get no comments in the comments section saying what I did wrong, what I could do to improve and get better. I don't know. I want feedback. I want a definitive correct answer. I want a walkthrough. I want the correct answers. I don't want to fail. I want to succeed. Please, give me the blueprints to success. Trial and error experimentation takes a long time and is exhausting and tiring, and I don't want to do it. Wah. I don't want to put in the effort to be a good video maker. I want someone to give me all of the answers. Yeah. Making videos is not the most amazingly easy thing in the world, but that 10 minutes did fly by real fast, which is good. Because that means I can say thank you for watching my video. And what do I know? I'm just some guy who watched a podcast and wants to make his own videos on the internet.